Dorian, obviously the test of Newcastle on Sunday, a slightly different one this year because of the different surface to go up there to.
Yeah, I suppose it is later on in the season, but you play them at this time of the year when the pitches are hard and firm anyway. It's not a massive amount of difference to it. There's certain bits of grip and how the ball bounces that are slightly different, but on the whole it's going to be pretty similar to the surfaces we played on over the last couple of weeks.
Slightly different to when you went there in February there. Obviously that was a very good result and a fast start, I suppose, is what you're looking for again this week.
Yeah, well, we played some good rugby up there last year, and to be fair to them, they really clung on in there and made it a tough battle right to the end. I think we were hanging on for the win in the last few plays of the game, and they settled for the bonus point, kicked the ball off the pitch. So we've talked about that. We know they're a tough side and they don't give in, and they're going to give it everything they've got. They're desperate to win a game, so we need to make sure we're at our best and give it everything we can.
Talk about their desperation. Obviously they haven't won since last October. How much of a bearing does that have on preparation for the game?
Oh, I think we just focus on what's happening to ourselves at the minute. We lost the game last week. We didn't actually play too badly. We created a lot of opportunities, and we made a quality side like Wasp struggle on occasion. So we've looked at ourselves with bits and bobs in our game that we need to improve on, and we know we're going to have to give it everything that we've got to go up to Newcastle and win.
What do you make of Newcastle's start though? I mean, do you feel they've improved over the summer?
Well, definitely they've recruited quite a number of players over the last couple of years, and they don't always come into the squad and be where they need to be straight away. So they've had that time now this season to plan and make sure that their team are playing the certain style of rugby that they want to, and they've scored four tries already, which they struggled to score points last year. So that's changed obviously, and that's what comes when having the coaches having more time with the players. So we're expecting them to be a tough team to compete with this week.
For yourselves, what was the message after Wasps? Because obviously you dominated a lot of that game, it just didn't quite happen for you on the day.
Yeah, we made a couple of mistakes. I don't think we did a lot wrong. We obviously that interception score and then a bit of poor defence in the plays leading up to, after that. So there wasn't a lot wrong. I think on the day we created a lot of chances. We took some. We weren't rewarded for a few from the officials, and that's one of those things. But we were there and thereabouts against a very good, well organised Wasps side that were physical on the day. So we look at ourselves and look what we can improve. We're always looking to do that. We know it's going to be a tough task this week, and we need to be switched on for it.
Took a few knocks as well. How are the players? Christian Day and Stephen Myler are a couple that were to be a bit worse for wear.
Yeah, we take knocks every week, and it's part of playing rugby at this level at the minute, and the physicality of the games is one where you're always going to be bumped and bruised. So it's been the same sort of week as normal, trying to patch up the people from the weekend, making sure we do the right sort of recovery things with them, but on the other hand making sure we're doing enough preparation. So we're not in a bad place squad wise. We've got some injuries in the back row and at hooker, but hopefully over the next few weeks some players will be coming back into contention.
I saw the strength of that Wanderers team that went to Gloucester. I mean, very rarely been in a position with how strong that team actually was last week.
Yeah, and we've still had people like Nelson, Nutley, Sam Dickinson, Marky Haywood and young Matt Williams that have been injured for a while, and hopefully we've got a bit of depth in our squad. We've got a lot of youngsters that have come through and shown that they're capable of competing at this level. So yeah, we're happy with where we are as a squad.
You obviously wanted to get some game time into those players on Monday. The Wanderers fixture was cancelled. How disappointed were you with that, because you don't play until October again now?
Yeah, very disappointing. You've got players at this period of the season that have trained really hard and who are chomping at the bit and want their chance in the first team if they're not quite there. So any games that get called off like that, the Tigers game, is very disappointing, and it leaves you in a position where you're desperate to find somebody to play against, because you want to keep all your players fighting for positions in the team, and that's their chance to do it.
Were you surprised, given the nature of the Tigers squad? I mean, it would seem to be a big enough squad to cope maybe? Yeah,
always surprised, and we've all got injuries, and it's just one of those things. I suppose if you get a few positional injuries and you're struggling for that depth, then so that's something for them to answer into. I know that we've all got injuries, but you just have to try and get as many players fit and available to play as you can.
News obviously this week about the salary cap. How do you feel that will affect the Saints?
Yeah, it's good. We have a bit more potential to bring a few more players in. We're always looking for the right sort of player to add to our squad to improve what we're already doing, and nothing else changes with regards to that. You don't waste money. We make sure the people we bring in are are ones that can add to what we're already doing.
I suppose next season seems a long time ago, but you start identifying players now to bring in?
You're constantly on the lookout. We watch lots of rugby, everybody does in this game, and even if you're not looking for somebody at that moment, you're always looking at what players are performing, because you never know what's around the corner. So yeah, there's lots of players around and people that we're interested in, but we've got a settled squad here at the minute and everybody's performing well.
I suppose the good thing about this club is though that you're always given the leeway to go and get those players. You're always allowed to spend up to the salary cap, whatever it may be. Yeah,
we get great support. We've got a good fan base and the club's in a good position. The board manage this club expertly, really. Everything's catered for, and they make sure we've got the funds we need and we're allowed to spend to make sure our squad's as good as it can be.